Welcome to another Super Deluxe Edition unboxing video, and today we're going to take a look at the HMV 1920 to 21 Centenary edition of Kate Bush's Hounds of Love. Now, I must admit I wasn't really planning on buying this, but as my mum used to say, it's an illness, collecting records, buying records. I wasn't really able to resist in the end. I'll tell you what happened. I went to Westfield in Stratford, where there was an HMV. I was going to go there and buy it from there. When I got there, much to my frustration, I realised there wasn't an HMV there anymore. They'd closed it down. For some reason that had escaped my attention. So of course I found this out last Saturday, and then I thought, okay, well maybe I won't bother buying it at all then. But then realised that they were available online at 4 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, which I didn't realise either, but I happened to go online at about 5 and managed to pick one up. So that's the story. Let's have a quick look at this. I'm going to take this cellophane off in a minute. It comes with a special Obi strip. HMV is 100 years old, just over in theory. It says here, presented in HMV exclusive limited edition numbered packaging. Now it says numbered, which makes you think that these are all individually numbered, but actually they're not. This is what they mean is this is number 4 in their series. I think that's what they mean, because there's no specific number. But at first glance, the cover looks good in terms of the colour reproduction. I'm liking the attention to detail with the original font used for the sticker. It says coloured vinyl made from 100% recycled and sustainable materials. When they first announced this, it wasn't clear it was coloured. They just said it was like recycled vinyl. So it made a bit of difference when I realised it was going to be a kind of coloured vinyl, a sort of marbled effect. We'll have a look in a minute. Because when this album was released in America, they pressed it on marbled vinyl, and in the UK we didn't get that, so that was always a point of contention. But let's take this off and have a quick look. So interestingly, actually, I expected this Obi strip just to fall off, but they've actually glued it on, which is a little bit dubious if you ask me. So there's some kind of, it's come off cleanly, but some of that sort of, bogey glue, whatever you call it. Obi strip, it's quite a thick card actually, it's not just a bit of paper. But, I mean, it's quite nice, I suppose. It gives it that Japanese sort of feel, that collector's feel. The album itself looks really good. As I say, I really like they've done a great job with the colour reproduction. I'll show you a comparison in a minute with some other vinyl pressings. Of course, on the vinyl, it was always done Kate Bush top right, Hounds of Love bottom left, but on the CD it was centred. Something that never occurred to me until later on. I love this record. It's one of my favourite albums. I just love everything about it. I love the design. I like the layout. It takes me back, all the fonts and the layout and everything. It's a very simple packaging job really with this record. This very much reproduces the originals, lyrics, brilliant photo to represent the 9th wave. And this is all it's all on uncoated stock, which gives you that kind of recycled effect. The 2018 vinyl pressing of Hounds of Love wasn't done like this. I'll show you that in a minute. But let's get the all-important vinyl out of the way. There you go, that's what the pressing looks like. I think it looks stunning actually. I mean, I don't like the Fish People label, but I've never liked the Fish People design. But the vinyl pressing looks really good. I mean, this pink tinge, whatever you want to call it, is perfect for Hounds of Love. When they promoted this, there was an image of all sorts of different coloured vinyl versions, suggesting that there's going to be a multitude of colours, but all the pictures I've seen online all look like this, so it'd be interesting to see if other people have got different coloured versions. As I say, Kate reverted to this Fish People design quite a few years ago, and this pressing has the single mix of the Big Sky on it, as does the 2018 remaster. I mean, it's the same audio on here. It doesn't actually mention it's the single mix on the label. Yeah, here you see it says the 7-inch mix of the Big Sky there. It was actually called the Special Single Mix originally, so they seem to have forgotten that and they're just calling it the 7-inch mix. So one thing I don't like about the new remaster of Hounds of Love, I'd much prefer the original album version. Again, Fish People logo, barcode. Let's take a look at the 2018 version from the box set and the one that was available separately, and just have a quick comparison of the packaging. Yeah, so the one in the box set and the one it was also available standalone is a lot glossier. You can see that it's got some spot varnishing on the photo, which does, I mean, it is pretty stunning, I have to say. If you do a direct comparison, you can see that spot varnishing always gives you a kind of deeper, darker hue, really, on the colour. That's sort of apparent there, but apart from that, it's very consistent, I think. The white is whiter on the sleeve as well. As I say, I think they've either just done it for budgetary reasons or they're trying to give it a recycled feel. It's not clear whether this is recycled cardboard, I don't know. But it looks identical, and on the back as well, everything's basically the same. 7-inch mix, labels, etc. Even the barcode's in exactly the same place. There's no spot varnishing on the inside, but again, this is a kind of silk feel stock compared to a sort of more kind of uncoated stock on the HMV version. The labels are identical though. This is obviously black vinyl, but you can see there the labels are identical to the one on the HMV. Out of interest, here's an original copy of the album. So that's the original, and that's the 2018 one. So on the original, this is actually not a UK pressing. I bought this in Belgium. This is quite a few years ago. This is like a Benelux kind of pressing. So it's not spot varnish, but the whole thing has a sort of laminate to it. I mean, it's very much the same. Obviously this is the original, so the big sky is just the original version. And someone's obviously put this in one of these sleeves at some point, but that's kind of like the original label. And this is the original inner sleeve, which is fairly much the same as what we've seen before. Now if you want to see how not to reproduce the artwork on Hounds of Love, take a look at the audio fidelity version. Now sonically this sounds really good. I mean, I'm going to be honest, I haven't properly A-B'd this version against the 2018 version. But look how terrible that image is. Look, so there's the 2018 version on the right, and then that's the audio fidelity one. It's probably not that easy to see, but there's far too much hue in it. It's too colourful. It's all oversaturated. You know, look at the skin tones. They're way off, so it doesn't look very good. Also, they haven't used the right font either. If you look at Kate, look at the K on Kate Bush there, and look at the Kate. At first glance, it looks accurate. You know, it's a little bit sloppy. Okay, it's not way off. Hounds of Love doesn't look too bad, although it's not perfect. Same as the back actually. So if you look at that image there, I mean, maybe they weren't given the original elements and just had to scan things in. But that doesn't look very good either. This was a gatefold, the audio fidelity ones. This is from 2010. It was a gatefold. So what they did was they reproduced each side of the inner sleeve in a gatefold, which means that the record looks like that. But again, the reproduction isn't really that good. So the only good thing about this version is the audio. The actual presentation is pretty dire, I think. Although interestingly, the vinyl isn't that different from the HMV one. I mean, it is different, but it's not dissimilar. They did make a big boo-boo though. Look at cloud busting. They didn't call it cloud bursting, which is the big faux pas. Yeah, it's 2 words there. Obviously, it should be 1 word. In fact, they did a repress of this and they didn't correct it, which is unforgivable, really. So sadly, unless you go to an HMV and you get lucky, these are kind of more or less sold out, I think. I hate to say that there's plenty of them on eBay for like $79.99 or $99.99, which is obviously frustrating. But yeah, I'm pleased I got hold of one of these in the end. No new audio, of course. You know, it would have been fantastic to get, say, a 2 LP set with some bonus tracks, or even a 2 LP half-speed master with Hounds of Love on the first disc and The Ninth Wave on the second. There's loads of things they could have done. As usual with anything Kate Bush related, it feels like getting blood out of a stone trying to sort of get anything interesting released. But it is coloured vinyl, so I guess that's something. So I hope you've enjoyed this brief look at the HMV Centenary edition of Kate Bush's Hounds of Love on coloured recycled vinyl. If you have, why not subscribe to the SDE YouTube channel for more great physical music unboxed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.